Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 7 Japanese destroyer, the Hatsuharu. Oh wait, no, Hatsuharu is Tier 6 now. So we're in the Tier 6 Japanese destroyer. I forgot that she was down tiered at one point. Anyway, we're playing a match on the map Fault Line. It's one of the oldest maps that I remember in the game, and I quite like this map. Unfortunately, there is a carrier in this match who headed straight for me, and unfortunately because of that my game is now completely and utterly ruined and I cannot play like this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sail the other way and let the Mitsuki deal with the CV, because we're playing at Tier 6, so if the CV can't find you for 1 minute, you probably don't exist anymore for him. I'm going to launch some random torpedoes, because you never know, maybe a destroyer comes barreling down that area, and thus my torpedoes get lucky, but probably I'm not gonna get anything from it. I'm gonna reposition, try to find a better angle to fight that, and look, the CV ignored me. Well, I guess technically the CV doesn't know where I am, but essentially I don't have to worry about the CV for a while, because the CV is busy elsewhere. Oh, and also, we found both of the enemy destroyers. They are on the western side of the map, basically where I just was, which means I can do this kind of a maneuver that I'm doing right now safely. Also notice I'm locked onto that König. I want to drop some torps on this König, and I have been paying attention to him for a while now, right? Like, I've seen how he moves, and I've noticed that he doesn't turn at all, which means that I need to launch exactly on the grey line. And that should get the torpedoes to be very effective against her. Yep, this is looking very good. You see, if you can observe players for a while, you can know what they're doing, and this guy was doing nothing at all. Oh, I'm spotted. There shouldn't be anything that could spot me. Nah, it'll be fine. There's nothing to worry about here, okay? So what he should have done is he should have noticed the little exclamation mark in yellow, and then turned his ship a little bit, at least do some kind of defensive sailing. I'm going to assume this König is the same, that he is basically going to be on the... he's basically not going to dodge at all. Oh, and the other destroyer that was on the other side of the map was taken care of as well, so we don't have to worry about destroyers at all, unless the Fubuki comes over here, which seems somewhat unlikely. Unfortunately, this König actually does know what WASD is, like he has been able to turn his ship before, so unfortunately he was able to dodge all but one torpedo, and thus I could only deal like 10k damage to her. Now I'm wondering what should I do, and here I more or less decide that I'm gonna YOLO rush that Bayan, because I have almost 13k HP, there's no cruiser to cover this Bayan, and once I start heading towards the Bayan and get closer, the only ship that can fire at me on the enemy team is the Bayan. The König will be behind the island for me at some point soon. And I guess while I'm doing it I might as well use my guns. Maybe I can get a fire on the König or something, who knows. But this Bayan's pretty screwed, because at this tier battleships do not have enough firepower or secondaries to be able to ward off a destroyer. And once I get close enough, it's impossible to dodge the torpedoes. Essentially, I feel like I shouldn't be in a match like this, because the players aren't exactly on the type of level I'm at, and I feel bad because it feels like I'm bullying them, right? I mean, that König had no chance, this Bayan had no chance. This is my second devastating strike already. The plan here is to smoke up and start shelling the König, because I will have to wait for my torps to reload anyway. And by the way, I actually still have 8k HP, which means that I could technically rush another battleship and still survive. Could be that Piotr Veliki, for example, but we'll see what she actually does. Right now, the smoke is the important bit. Keep in mind though that there is a CV in this game, and technically the CV could make my life hell, however, she is... Actually, I have no... Oh, no, I know what's going on. The CV is busy with a little Jaguar, and a Furutaka, and a Kirov. Wait, Kirov? I thought... Okay, never mind. Anyway, essentially I don't really have to worry about anything here. I can just keep shelling, unless the cruiser that's to the north of me decided to turn here, which actually could be... No, never mind. I thought that might be smart, but my König would probably delete her from existence if she actually ended up doing that, which means that I'm safe here. So, here's the important question here. Is it ethical to Seal Club? You see, like I mentioned, it feels kinda bad, because it feels as though I shouldn't be in matches like this. But is it ethical? Like, can I play matches like this and then still sleep soundly? Should I be able to sleep soundly when playing matches like this? Because part of me feels like this is wrong and I shouldn't be able to do this, but the other part says that this is great, this is exactly what I should be doing. Anyway, this König is probably gonna go down quite quickly. Here, I was thinking of actually rushing out here. The König goes down and I YOLO rush the Piotr Veliki, however, then I realized that the Piotr Veliki is actually sailing away, and thus if I actually try to go out from behind the island here, that would probably just end up going poorly for me. Instead, I decided to YOLO rush that Fuso over there. Because she is alone, she won't have any support, I have 8k HP and I should be able to just delete her. Because if I get close enough, she cannot dodge any of the torps, like the other battleship, like the Bayan, and then I guess we just get another devastating strike. Yep, and she's not even moving, and oh wow, island puts me at 3 kilometers. Yeah, Fuso, you're gone. There's nothing you can do to stop this anymore. Oh, and your guns aren't even turned in the right direction. By the times the guns turn, I'm probably gonna be so close that it's hard for the guns to track me, which means that she can't even punish me in return, unless the secondaries do it, which aren't very effective apparently. Goodbye, Fuso. That's our third devastating strike. Oh, and there is the enemy aircraft carrier. I guess we found what we're gonna do next. I mean, we have guns, we have a 9.8 kilometer range, so all we need to do is get within 10 kilometers and then we have a Furious to sink. I bet she'll be quite angry. Now, I understand that my team is being technically capped, however we have an CV. And our CV is actually playing the game, which means that she's probably going to be able to decap the enemy. Besides, we have a König and a Prince Eitel Friedrich next to the cap as well, so we're probably not gonna lose due to the cap. In fact, I think it's likely that our CV plus battleships will just deal with the destroyer. Yep, there goes one of the destroyers, and hey, I'm within main gun range now. So I don't need to really... The CV just doesn't have enough HP to rush in to try to torp, so I'm more or less gonna stop here. Because a few gun salvos should do it. I don't think it's likely I'm gonna be able to fight the Piotr Veliki though, at the end of this, because she's close range to a König, there's a Furutaka there as well, and another König that basically is crossfiring her, so they should be able to deal with the Soviet battleship. And there goes the last enemy destroyer, and there goes the Piotr Veliki, so only the CV is left. Oh, come on! Sink already! You're an aircraft carrier. Your job is to sink the destroyers. And there she goes! And we did what every destroyer wants, which is to sink the enemy CV. And there's the game. 3 devastating strikes, a high caliber, 151k damage, 4 ships sunk. And notice the research points at the bottom? That means I wasn't seal clubbing, okay? I was here to earn my research points. But here's my question to you. Is it ethical to seal club, or is it always unethical to seal club? Please let me know in the comments. But yeah, it does feel a little bit dirty. But I guess, how are they going to learn otherwise? Anyway, 1663 base XP for a tier 6 ship. Oh wow, that König must have had an amazing experience. 266 base XP? I'm surprised he's not dead. It feels like he probably wasn't much better than the battleships I faced. I guess those guys... I guess stuff like this is probably why battleships end up playing so passively at higher tiers, huh? because they had somebody do something like this to them. Just if you're curious, I am running a 10-point captain actually. I went with priority target, last stand, survivability expert, and concealment expert, and that's it. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.